Live from A1, it's Comic Book Cannon! We're here.
This is crazy.
We are live.
This is crazy.
You guys got to let us know if you could hear us too, because we're having mic issues. That's what took us so long, so we apologize for that. But we are here live at A1 Comics. We are super appreciative of them being fantastic hosts. We got a lot of fun things we're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to keep up with the Marvel madness going on as well. However, we've had some technical issues. We're just rushing to get online. So hopefully you guys can hear us. Let us know in the comments, please, because, Peter Thornton, it is the first meeting at C&J. You got that right.
I know. No more boxes.
No more boxes. Well, we're going to go
for
back.
Now.
The next episode will be back to boxes. But we're so happy to be right next to each other. We got a very special guest in-house as well. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Let's just get to some news first. How about that? We're going to get to some news. Chris, you got that? Yeah, there we go. Guys, this is a unique setup here. We're both not used to this. So, again, let us know if you can hear us because we're using the microphone from the computer. Not ideal at all. Chris, what do we got first for news?
All right, guys. SDCC weekend. So, first up, What If Season 2? Some good news, some bad news. Season 2 has been pushed back to 2023. But we're spoiled. We're spoiled, guys. All right, so here's some good news. We know who's going to be showing up in the show. We got Captain Carter facing off with Winter Soldier. That's going to be awesome. Odin versus Mandarin. Tony Stark on Sakaar with Valkyrie. We're also going to see Black Widow, Captain Carter, Hydra Stomper Steve walking through a town filled with robots that look like humans from the 1960s. We're going to have Yondu, young Peter Parker, Red Guardian, Ego, Shang-Chi, Korg, Gamora, the Grand Master. We got a confrontation between Thanos and Captain America, and Bucky will help Red Guardian. Wow, there's also going to be an episode that's going to be set in 1602.
1602. I mean, that's a lot.
I wonder if they're going to take from the 16 that
absolutely
that
they are. That's going to be awesome. Yep. We'll see that 1602 Spider-Man. Yep. I believe they had the Fantastic Four back then. If I'm not... Okay. Anyways, that's going to be awesome. That's super exciting. However, it sucks that it's being pushed to 2023 for that second season. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, guys, I have a feeling that it's being pushed back, but we're still going to have like Marvel.
Oh yeah,
every week.
I mean, Chris and I. The floodgates were going to be like the floodgates were open, a year and a half ago? And here we are. We're swimming in Marvel content, and we love it. We absolutely love it. Another first look. Take it away, too, because you've got those notes in there. What do you got?
X-Men 97. All right, we've known about this for a good couple years now, but we got a first look at these characters. I mean, pulled right from where we left off, right? One sad thing is there's going to be a couple. We hope that most of the voice actors are coming back. There's going to be a couple that won't be there. We know that the voice actor of Summers passed away recently, so that is unfortunate. We got a shot of Magneto, which has caused some speculation hype, thinking that there might be a Trial of Magneto plot showing up in the show. So Uncanny X-Men number 200 is already being talked about. Go grab that book.
Get that book.
So I just sold one for $4 in like near mint condition. Oh well. But I'm just
again,
this is amazing.
This is an amazing time to be alive as a fan, as we always talk about. Like honestly, I'm getting used to this. This is crazy. This really is crazy.
I know.
You got something stuck in your teeth.
Thanks.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not true.
It's my tooth.
All right, next up, because Marvel's going on right now, we're going to try and update you with that, Chris. I hope you have some news to mention once we're done here, because but we did get some interesting looks from DC from their panel as well. We got our brand new Shazam trailer. Other than the trailer, we got a nice nugget from Zachary Levi, where somebody in the audience asked if Superman and Shazam were ever going to face off, and he said, I can neither confirm nor deny such allegations as these are not questions you're allowed to ask me on the stage right now, but no. And then he looked around and he winked at the guy. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good sign that we may see. A lot of people were actually speculating that we're going to see Henry Cavill announcing he's going to come back as Superman. That did not happen, unfortunately. However, we did get an amazing entrance by the man Black himself. No, not Johnny Cash. We're talking The Rock as Black Adam. literally as Black Adam. You know, the only new info we received on this though was that Viola Davis is back as Amanda Waller. We have a teaser. We have some teaser with new footage too as well. Chris and I, we keep saying how excited we are for this film and want the DCU to push forward and do, you know, again, live up to the characters that we all grew up with loving. DCU has not lived up to those expectations overall. I enjoyed Shazam. Not many people did that. I'm looking forward to Black Adam. You know, the new Batman is a new Batman, but we want to see a shared universe, Chris.
Yeah, and you know, it sucks for what's coming down with the Flash and what's going on there. It just seems that everything that DC has been pushing today is so circulating around Shazam and Black Adam, which is okay though. You know, I would rather them not, you know, go so hard on a bunch of other stuff where, you know, things start falling apart. This is a property that they put so much energy into, and I'm all good with my Twitter feed being flooded with this, because this can really be that project that sets it forward in motion.
Chris and I have put those expectations there, so there's a lot to live up to for us. I don't know about you all, but for us, we just don't want to be let down.
Yep,
we absolutely do not want to be let down. Before we get into the breaking news, which we don't have any images for, we're just going to talk about, because this is going to be new to me, maybe not to you all, but Chris and I are trying to follow this. We in-house that will be right by our side for fresh comics, so stick around for that. But Chris, what do we got with Marvel?
All right, guys. So again, everything's coming through the pipeline. We do know that Wakanda Forever is going to wrap up Phase 4. So I'm thinking that something. I mean, this movie's already going to be big, bittersweet. We talked about that, but I think there's something going to be even bigger. Maybe. I mean, we know that Kang is going to be a big player moving forward
in Ant-Man. Yeah.
Right.
Well, in general, yeah.
In general, I mean, but we don't know. You know, everyone's looking for, oh, well, what's this going to lead up to? And there's been so much talk. Oh, it's taking too long. Maybe it's Wakanda Forever that's going to introduce something that shows us what the next thing is. Like in Infinity Saga, maybe we're going to see something happen to where we're going to know if it's Secret Wars or whatever may be coming down. That these next few phases are going to build up.
I'm just registering this. Phase 4 is ending in November. That's crazy. Okay, so we're moving into Phase 5 next year.
Yep.
Interesting. That's very interesting. What else we got? What else?
We got. So basically, they're saying that Guardians of the Galaxy might be the first trailer first trailer that brought tears to people's eyes. So I guess we don't publicly have the trailer yet.
No, well, not yet.
Not yet.
We will, but it's
this
there. Just came up. I just got a notification here. Guardians of the Galaxy teaser confirms High Evolutionary.
Yep.
And more we knew about, with Gamora leading the Ravengers and Maria Bakalov as the Cosmo the Space Dog. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that's right off the presses right there on my watch. What else?
Yep.
Anything else we have with Marvel so far? Because that thing is still going on, and they're probably gonna have a big announcement, I'm sure, at the end.
Yeah, we had Kang show up on stage.
Oh, he did.
So,
okay.
I can't wait for more of him. MODOK in Ant-Man 3.
Okay, I'm happy about that. That's probably Jim Carrey is what people have been speculating.
Yeah, I'm wondering. So how are they going to do this to make it?
If it's Jim Carrey,
yeah, Marvel's going to make it happen.
No doubt.
He's going to make it happen and make it work.
Yeah, I mean, when he's only had a few misses, let's put it that way. Yeah. Granted,
definitely.
We're a little biased. All right, is that it? Let's refresh that Twitter feed right there. BD Brandon Davis keeping us informed of the news from comicbook.com. But it looks like, they just wrapped up with the Guardians trailer. Again, that'll probably be available online soon. But right now, you know what? We had some things planned, but we had some technical issues. So right now, we're just going to roll something that we rolled before. It's the influential issues with Stan Lee. Apologies. I'm looking like this, guys, because my computer's about 6 feet away from me. And I just want to make sure I'm clicking on the right thing.
Well, years ago, there was a psychiatrist named Frederick Wortham, and he blamed comics for every known ill that mankind had. He started congressional investigations and everything about comic books. The publishers got together and had to form something called the Comics Code. Every publisher submitted all their work to the Comics Code office, and they would approve the pages and make sure they weren't too sexy or too violent. One day, I got a letter from the Office of Health, Education, and Welfare in Washington, and the letter essentially said they're aware of the popularity of Marvel Comics and especially Spider-Man, and the HEW thought that it would be a great idea if we could do an anti-drug story in our comic books, especially in the Spider-Man title. No kid wants to be preached to, so I made it part of a story. It wasn't an anti-drug story, but within the framework of the story, there was a situation where one of Spider-Man's friends had taken some drug. Spider-Man had to save his friend who wanted to jump off the building because he thought he could fly. And I made that part of a larger plot. It was just an incident. But it was, I think, very well and subtly done. And we submitted the story to the Comics Code, and they rejected it. And I said, what are you rejecting it for? They said, according to our Bible, you're not allowed to mention drugs. I said, look, we're not telling kids to take drugs. We're showing one of the ill effects of drugs. And besides, the Office of Health, Education, and Welfare, our government, asked me to do this. Sorry, you're not allowed to mention drugs. Well, I was very proud of our publisher. I went to him. His name was Martin Goodman. I said, Martin, you've got to let me send these 3 issues out without the code. He said, gosh, Dan, that's taking a big step. I mean, we're supposed to abide by the code. And I said, yeah, but we're supposed to do what the government tells us. I got this letter from Washington. And besides, it's a good thing. It's letting kids know that drugs are harmful. This time he said, okay, Stan, you go ahead and do it, and I'll back you up. So for the first time in a few years, we sent out, it was a 3-issue story. We sent out 3 issues. They didn't have the Comics Code on the cover. And the world did not come to an end. But what happened was we had really the greatest mail from parents, teachers, religious organizations praising us for that story. And I might add that it does have a happy ending because the Comics Code finally allowed a mention of drugs if it can be done in a way like that. This was a defining moment in the Comics Code Authority losing a lot of its authority.
All right, we are back. Thank you all for sticking around with us. Again, we've been having technical issues, but hopefully we keep this an informing, entertaining program as usual. This straight face right here, not strange, it's gorgeous, but it may be strange too because you may not know him. This is Wes with A1 Comics.
Yeah.
He helped us facilitate this whole thing. We are so pumped that he's here. We're going to do a quick interview with you. But before that, please, if you're watching on Journos, click over to Comic Book Canada. Why don't they sum them up? What's Comic Book Canada?
Absolutely, guys. Anybody watching on my channel, go over to the Comic Book Canada YouTube channel. That link is in the description. We are there every week, usually on Sundays. Obviously, it's a special weekend this week, but every Sunday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, weekly live shows. And you guys are obviously getting a taste of how we do it, but even more special because we are not in boxes. We're live in person, and we're at the one and only A1 Comics with the man Wes here. So we're gonna talk a little, Wes. There's a lot been going on here at A1.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a lot going on in the comic book industry. So first off, I want to talk a little about A1. For many of you that watch my channel, you guys know that I've been a loyal customer of A1 for about 12 years now. But I want you all know, all over the nation, we got viewers all over the nation, all over the world maybe. If you had to tell them that aren't familiar with A1,
A1 Comics is just, it's not your average comic book store. Like it is a very unique store. And if you haven't set foot in this place, because I'm not originally from the Sacramento area. I actually grew up around the corner from Flying Colors, Joe Fields, who's also a legend in the industry. But Great store, smaller store. And when I walked into A1 Sacramento, my reaction was like, wow, this is a comic book shop. And I was floored by it. And I was a customer, ended up becoming an employee. And it's the store itself, it's the amount of stuff, it's the way that Brian, pizza owner, does business. It's from the top down. It's a great company, and it's a great environment. It's a fun place to be for sure.
Absolutely. My next question was going to be what differentiates A1. I think you from other brick and mortars and maybe online dealers, because you guys do both so well.
Yeah.
I think you answered that a little bit, but can you maybe add a little more context to that?
Yeah, I think that what we do differently is just the amount of inventory, the amount of knowledge that a lot of people have here. We've got Brian is an expert when it comes to like a lot of golden age, even obscure stuff. We've got people that just all different, interests as far as magazines, comics, pulps. It's really a privilege to work here and work with those people with that kind of knowledge. I had a good amount of knowledge before I came here, but my knowledge has grown from being with these people. And then also, again, it's the way that we do business. Brian is a big, he's got a reputation over 30 years in this industry for grading books a certain way and conducting business a certain way, and I think that's what is some of the different things compared to like a lot of other shops, and it's one of the reasons why I'm like proud to be here, for sure.
Absolutely. And guys, I stand firm on that as a believer myself as a customer.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not being rude, Wes. I'm listening to everything you say. I'm just trying to monitor what's going on at Comic-Con here. They got the still going on. But no, James Gunn's just saying basically this is up the end, is what he said. So he's up there now. Chris Pratt, Sean Gunn, cannot pronounce her last name. All gotten emotional on stage. We care. I'm sorry, but we do. Sean Gunn. It's gonna be a little goosebumps, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyways, another epic project, man.
No, it's exciting, and it's a bit of a shame. I mean, James Gunn has done some. I mean, not just the Guardian stuff. I mean, I think he's really the heart of what a lot of people like from the Guardians, like that character.
Yeah.
That show or the movies have, but also Peacemaker, like which I really enjoyed.
Oh, absolutely.
I think if it wasn't for him, I don't think Peacemaker would have been what it was.
Okay, guys, we got our first look at the High Evolutionary here.
Ooh,
he's coming out in costume. That is awesome. I wish we could share it with you guys, but if you guys go to Twitter, oh wow. Okay, so guys, Brandon Davis BD, he works for comicbook.com. We know he just got some shots of this. This is fantastic.
That's exciting.
That really is. So we got our first look at the High Evolutionary, guys. Feel free if you have to log off with us and check it out, but maybe hold off.
Yeah,
because we got some more interesting stuff to talk about.
We do. That'll be there.
Yeah,
we won't.
That's not going anywhere. It lives on the internet forever.
Okay, we are going to get into a state of the market discussion. Sure. I do want to say, Wes, though, you guys, I got links below, but for those that aren't local, or even if you are local and you like diving into live sales everything online, can you tell them where to find you guys online?
Yeah, so we're really active on social media, on Instagram. So I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure some of you guys probably know that, but for those of you that don't know, we're really active as far as we post a lot of fun content. Some of it's making fun of like the comic book hobby, but in a good way.
Love it.
I think it's important to keep it light. It is comics. We're not we post fun content as well as obviously we're selling books, and we go live twice a week on Instagram, and we do live sales, and we have stuff from Golden Age all the way to modern variants, a lot of stuff, budget friendly stuff, as well as bigger books. So if that's something that you're into, we also have a great community. People come and hang out, and just it's kind of like almost like a Cheers bar kind of a feel where come in, chat, and you'll see a lot of the same faces. So
absolutely, I'm hanging out often in the sales, and I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
You know what I do though? It's so funny because it's claim sales, guys. It's not like on Whatnot where you're bidding.
Yeah,
I will put claim. I'll type claim in the chat just in case, because people are watching, and it's whoever claims it first. So I'm like, if they put something up on D, all I need to do is type that D, hit send, and like I need to claim. But so all right, Wes, thank you for
absolutely,
that. let's talk a little bit about the state of the comic market, guys. We've been through a whirlwind of stuff over the last couple of years. You know, we got what a lot of people call now the COVID boom. You know, that really peaked last year, pretty much in the summer of last year. We're definitely seeing a lot going on in the economy.
Yeah.
Inflation's kicking our butts. So there's been some concern within comic books. I've addressed that a lot, but
Yeah.
Wes, for you, and you know, just a few words to sum up, can you describe your thoughts on the current state of the market?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that some some of that you know, I think people got really aggressive, almost kind of a bidding wars, and the market really went pretty sustainable, but I never thought it was a doom and gloom. But you know what we're seeing, I think there's a lot of terms that are thrown around, like crash or whatever.
Right.
But there's also a term that I hear people throwing around, which is correction, and that I think fits a little bit more of what's happening right now. It's price corrections. It's things coming back down to maybe where they should be. And again, if you look at the trends on like GPA or a lot of other price tracking websites, you'll see, you know, down, up, but it's always eventually going up, just like a lot of blue chip stocks. So some books it makes more sense than others, and I mean we're seeing like a lot of Bronze Age books that are really soft and whatnot, and it's a matter of supply and demand. And if there's not enough demand for those books, and all of a sudden people are trying to rush and sell them because the economy is not where it's at, it's unfortunate, but you know that is going to affect the market. So my one piece of advice is to people is don't panic sell things that like you like. I mean, if you need the money to pay bills or whatever, but if you're selling something just because you think things are going to crash, I think that's the wrong reason. It's an emotional reason, and just sell it. Yeah, you're great. This is part of your run. You've wanted to collect. You should not sell it because you're worried about the market, because it may be harder to get it back. So that's
good point.
Kind of my feelings about the market right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to look at a couple things here. So one, we've seen some books. You know, it's probably normal to see a lot of even key books dropping upwards to 30%. But one thing that I think people should notice is that if you still look at where they were trending 2 years ago, they're still up 100%, you know, double from what they were, some 200%.
Yeah.
So that puts things in perspective as well. And we are still seeing record highs in certain books. And I think that goes to what you said, like, you know, sometimes it's just about supply and demand, what book comes onto the market when it does, and that could really affect high prices still hitting the market.
Yeah.
Of books dropping 25-30%. Are you worried of seeing those continuing to drop, or do you feel like we are kind of at a point right now to where a buyer's market can then bring in more of a demand to maybe level them out?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that things will level out. I think because if people start feeling like, if people get a good deal on some maybe Silver Age keys that they couldn't afford during that COVID boom. I mean, a lot of these characters have been established as timeless, like whether or not, okay, you know, the MCU right now isn't going anywhere, but I think that, like, you know, Thor, Wolverine, you know, Hulk, like a lot of these characters, Spider-Man's not going anywhere. That is the gold standard. Like, no matter what happens, I mean, we've seen people completely screw up his like just to be as harsh as I can be, but there's still, I mean, Amazing Fantasy 15 is still like the Silver Age book. So I mean, that says a lot. So I mean, the love for those characters and how much they're tied into our pop culture just isn't really going anywhere. So there's a lot of fads that'll come and go. So I think it's good to be mindful of that and be careful with, like, you know, newer characters and modern stuff. But a lot of those older characters, I think that they'll level out, and they're here to stay. So.
Absolutely. And Wes, man, I mean, you just answered that in a way to where I want to start asking you a million other questions, because we could go off so many directions. But you did bring up a book, Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
So I want to close out with this. We're gonna bring some details into this because context matter for you folks watching too. So and this is really about getting your perspective, of course. Sure. You know, and as somebody that works in the industry as a retailer. Yeah. So Amazing Fantasy 15 has had a lot of coverage over the last few weeks. Interesting enough, there's been multiple sales of a CGC 2.5. It's just weird that this 2.5 keeps hitting the market. Yeah. Different fives, by the way. I just meant, you know, the amount that are selling over the last week.
Yes, interesting.
Right. So, but it's allowed us to kind of gauge what the market is doing for a specific blue chip key at a specific grade, and we're going to look at the prices. So, the first sale was a whatnot auction. I believe they started it as $1 bid, and it sold for $32,000. Now, you guys take it as you will. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but verbatim, it was stated that was a massive deal when that book sold for $32,000. Keep that in mind. The next book, again, CGC 2.5, sold for $28,000.
Wow.
And then the next one, again, another whatnot sale, sold for $30,000. All right, so
I've got some thoughts.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question. I got some more context that I'm gonna bring up, but I want to ask you the question first.
Yeah.
The 32K say this is a massive steal, or excuse me, a massive deal. We've heard it say that this was a steal. We've heard some people say that this is a $40,000 or $50,000 book. It's selling for thousands under market. But if you look at the statistics of this book in a 2.5, even during the COVID boom, there was 2 sales that crossed over the 40,000 mark. And there was 1 sale that crossed over the 50,000 mark, $52,000. Those all happened within span back in January here. Yeah. Okay. If you look at even through 2021, even during the peak of the market, this book's, including those outliers, the book's average sat around $32,000. When you take in all the sales for the 2.5s over that year plus, the average was still about $32,000. But my question to you, or do you want to add?
Question. I'll let you finish.
So my question, because this is a very layered conversation. My question is it accurate to say that just because we had maybe a couple of sales at a certain point in time, and keep in mind, this point in time was 7 months prior to these recent sales. Yeah. Is it accurate to say this is $40,000 or $50,000 book that is selling for so much under market value?
So you made a really good point about it's a 2.5 and 2.5, so that's an easy way to kind of track. But one thing that we do here especially with bigger books, because let's, you know, they don't sell that often. Like, they don't sell that often, so you have to be careful. And one thing we'll do is we check around that grade. We'll check a 2.0, 1.8, and it isn't black and white. But what I will say is it's interesting. So about the one that sold for 28. So the one on Whatnot, I didn't see that book. I always say buy the book, not the grade. Yep. With these books, you can look at the numbers and say it sold for this, it sold for that. But you should really also look at that 2.5. Was it actually 2.5? What was wrong with it? Did it have tape? Did it have that? Because when you're talking about, especially bidding, to get into a bidding war for people to get excited about a book, it has to have maybe some certain appeal for that grade that maybe it normally wouldn't. That's the one that sold for 28, so that's the lower one. Yep. Spidey's eyes were drawn in. He had ink,
blue ink in the eyes,
and in the webbing under him. Yep. So I remember, because I looked at that thinking, wow, that is a good price. And then I know a lot of buyers for that book are just, you know, they're do I want to bid the next? Do I want to bid 29? Do I want to bid 30? And I've seen 2.0s that look better than that 2.5 all day long. So I think you can't really say, it's hard to put a number on it. You have to look at the grade where it's at. I think saying might be a little bit of a reach, but those books are interesting because our mentality here is like, if we don't have to, we're not going to sell that book if we don't want to. Like it's a blue chip book, and the situation with Whatnot, it's very interesting to go on Whatnot on books. To me, that seems like a huge success for Whatnot, because that's not Heritage, that's not, Comic Connect. That's a big number for a Whatnot auction. So yeah, I don't know.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
I think, and again, there's perspective on both sides of this. Not every book is created equal, even if they have the same grade.
Yeah.
We all have I won't, if there's rust, I won't buy the book. I don't care what the grade is. It could be a near mint looking book. It has rusty staples. I'm not buying it. So that could be a breaker.
Yeah.
Colored on the eyes, I'm not going to touch it.
So like, it would be good to look at that, the one that went on Whatnot, and it would be good to look at that and the eye appeal of that and say, hey, does that look really nice? Does it look like a 3.0? And that's why I went for 32. The buyers obviously saw something in that they were willing to bid up. So it's really hard to say, is a 2.5 40,000? Well, it depends on the 2.5. I think if you have the money for that book and you're in the market for that book, you're going to buy the one that is right for you. If you're a guy that doesn't like tape, don't buy one with tape. So you have to look at that and then look at where the market's at. And you might feel like you overpaid for that book, but it's an AF-15. You only get so many shots to buy an AF-15. So it is really tricky to kind of gauge the market. It's tough.
Absolutely.
But I think that those sales are solid. The 28 I think is a bit of a steal. I wouldn't buy a book that expensive as like a really nice car with a pin on it, personally.
Right. Yeah.
So I could see why maybe that went low.
Yep.
So it's tough. It's really tough to say on that book.
Very good points. I want to kind of wrap up this topic
Sure.
on. I do want to add context that no, there's never been a 3.0 or a 3.5 that has hit 50,000.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell my viewers, watch for outliers. If you're in the market to buy a book, don't just look at, what did the last one sell for? Oh, I'm going to pay 60.
It's
so
important to look at. It's absolutely. It's important to look at outliers. One of the things like I'll do is look at the high and the low, and you can remove those and look at your average there in the middle, and that's kind of more your average.
Absolutely.
When you're spending thousands of dollars on a book, definitely look at all the facts, all the numbers. Don't just go off the last sale. That's a terrible way to look at things.
I think too, another thing that you brought up was the fact that these don't sell that often. And I recently talked in a video about how, as much as we like to compare comic books to stocks, and there's a lot of similarities if you are trying to in them, but the one differentiates so much that when you look at dips or increases in a stock, it sells thousands and thousands of times a day, every day. So a 10% dip in a stock, you can use it as an indicator to say something's going on. But even a 30% dip in a blue key that might only sell one every 3 weeks or one every month, it could just be the difference in, there might have just been two people that had money in their pockets that day, and they weren't caring about looking at what's the fair market of this book.
Exactly.
They're thinking, I have money in my pocket and I want it more than you do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bid you up.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if it was Heritage that did that $20,000 sale, but whatever auction house, because it was an auction house, is probably the consignee or the person that was selling the book was probably not happy with that number.
Right.
So I mean, you have to look at it. That's kind of a failure on their end, not trying to them on. I mean, it's their job to get a number in. Yeah, that's not good. So I mean, things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last question.
Yeah.
And we can use this kind of as a hypothetical for any book. But say you have a book that sold roughly around the same amount for a year. And that's what this book did in 2021. Even when the market was going up, 2.5 Amazing Fantasy 15s stayed around that 30,000. There was a couple under 30. There was a couple over. I think one of the highest was like 37, but then it dropped back down to 33.
Sure. Yeah.
So when you get a couple of sales that say hit 40 something thousand, and then the market over the next 6 months trends back down towards the 30 something thousand mark, would you even, or how much eyes would you put on those sales that happened 6 months ago to say, okay, we got this book, how are we gonna price this book, or how are we gonna gauge a fair market value for today?
You know, like if it's a book we had here in the store and all of a sudden it was trending downward, I mean, and if it was that caliber of a book, it would just be something where if we don't need to sell that book, we're just going to say, hey, you know what, maybe we'll put it back in the vault, we'll put it away. You know, we're in a spot where we can maybe do that, unless we really had to sell it, because, you know, if we believe in that book, we believe for a year, and all of a sudden it's dipping down, the worst thing to do is like sky is falling or whatever. I mean, so yeah, I mean, because it's one of those evergreen books. It's always going to be in there. So.
And that brings us full circle to kind of the first things we talked about, guys. So Wes, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Seriously, cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
For having us here. We really appreciate it. I'm so impressed with your store. Chris has been going here for years. Before we let you go, I do want to have a few things going on here because Feige's talking phase 6 right now. Fantastic Four will be coming out November 8th, 2024. So that's a little over 2 years. So the official end of phase 6 will be Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, followed by Avengers, Secret War.
Ooh, that's
so
awesome. That's awesome.
And then the phase 4, 5, and 6 is officially called the Multiverse Saga. That's all we have now. Actually, now Black Panther's on stage right now. Ryan Coogler opened the Wakanda Forever portion with a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. That's all we have right now in terms of the updates of people we're following. So fun stuff.
That's exciting news. It was it's been a pleasure, and thanks, and hey, safe travels. Thanks for making the trip out here.
I appreciate it again. Thank you for being such an amazing host. But we will see you again. I can actually not like a minute on the video here. Because what we're gonna do right now, we did a segment called
Fresh from the Comic Shop, literally
from the pressing line. We're here, and what we wanted to do was ask some of your fellow employees what you guys have fresh in your gets. And you guys gave some fantastic recommendations. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna roll that package right now, and then we're gonna bring in our special surprise guest. You guys, honestly, I know you're all on the edge of your seats, but before that, check this out.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris. I work here at A1 Comics in Sacramento. This is my fresh get of the week. It's Prometheus #1. It's an awesome sci-fi kind of horror thriller. I've been really into this stuff lately. Definitely pick it up.
Hey everybody, this is Wes with A1 Comics, and this is my fresh get. I've been reading Once and Future. It is an awesome story from Boom Studios. It's a really cool mixture of medieval fantasy and some dark elements. It's got great interior artwork and an awesome story. Highly recommended if you're interested in reading something independent and interesting. Check it out.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's James Fagan here at A1 Comics, one of the employees, and my fresh get today is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover from Boom Studios. This story is so amazing. If you're looking for two great teams teaming up and going against the big bad, this is the one.
What's going on, everyone? It's Avery at A1 Comics. I do advertising here. My fresh get today is the Alan Moore Swamp Thing box set. This series perfectly captures how mentally insane Alan Moore is, and it's really fun, so check it out.
It's Dan De La Torre in the house. Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
When Chris, you were on your live stream on Thursday, and you dropped the bomb that you guys were both going to be here, and then you threw out the idea, hey Dan, or anybody else in the area, come out. There's no way I was going to pass this up. No way.
Listen,
it's an honor to be sitting next to you guys.
We're very happy you're here. It was I knew you were coming, but it was still like a shock to see you, even though we were scrambling technically to try and make the show work. We're glad we did. We're glad you're here. So you're going to be along. It's not done this, right?
Yep.
No. Well, this is the first time I've been on a live show like this, other than my own studio. So in my own studio, we have this as my background. I figured to bring a little piece of the home here. This is a real shield, guys.
Real metal, guys.
So yeah, this is more than just a prop. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at home now.
Again, Dan, we are super happy you're here. We're monitoring the all the stuff going on at San Diego Comic-Con. They may be done with that Marvel panel, but we'll see. But
Good stuff.
we're here for Fresh from the Comic Shop. And also, thank you all for the well wishes last week. We had to cancel the show because my two dogs almost died, literally eating a bag of artificial sweetener. So we did not. They're okay. They're fine. Thank God. Which is literally it's a miracle because the vet was not that optimistic. But we didn't get to choose a Fresh from the Comic Shop semifinalists from last week. So I want to bring up two that we can choose from right here, guys. And I know it's going to be a little bit hard for you all to see because the screen is so far away. But we're going to go first with Brian P. Meister. And what he says here, I purchased Venom Lethal Protector #1 from a newsstand as a kid. It was my first comic, but it was stolen in 2003. I recently acquired a high grade newsstand from a Comic Book Cannon alumnus, Brian McClay. I also picked up the Venom Lethal Protector #1 Marvel Classicos reprint from Mexico. I really think owning a comic that once was owned by an internet comic book community contributor adds a certain pedigree to the book. These two comics seem to have a symbiotic attachment with me. Let's check this out real quick. Dan, I just want you to see it.
Yeah, because I have to photograph.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, look at
love
that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
Well, Dan, you're going to be choosing from two from last week. That's
Perfect.
it.
That's fine.
Okay, Chris, how do I get back to that other page right there?
This is not a live show at all, guys. Not live at all.
Yeah, right. Here we go. All right, next up we have good friend of the show, Drunk Wookie, and it's not coming up.
Uh-oh.
Where is it? Oh, here it is. Nope, that's his this week. Okay. Well, it was pretty cool. No. Okay. Anyways.
Does that mean it's a default? Here we go. Wait. Here it was.
No, I don't think that was
popped
him.
up real quick. Was it ASM 252?
No, it was not.
Oh, what was that?
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that, but I gotta say, Brian P. Meister has a fantastic submission.
Yeah.
So we're moving on.
Okay.
Brian P. Meister.
Yep.
Semifinals.
Let's do it. There you go.
ASM 252?
Nope.
No,
What was it?
right here.
The symbiotes.
No, I
Yeah.
got that one.
Yeah.
The one we
Was a Mandalorian #1 with Baby. It's a
Fine.
nice little setup with original
Yeah.
artwork in there.
Okay.
And Drunk Wookie, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened to it. I know I had it here somewhere, and I'm really upset with myself. Anyways,
Well, I was gonna not express my opinion, but I mean, maybe I should now.
go for it.
And I would have. I'm Black Spotty Venom all day. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
Brian,
the one to beat. I agree.
Yeah.
Brian
Brian
P. right there.
Well, no. Brian P. Meister is our semifinalist from last week. He is going to go up against the semifinals from this week. So we're just going to get it started right here because we got Son of Comics. And actually, you know what? I have this, guys. I have this document here. Come on, document. Give me a shot. Talk about something cool, Chris. All right, here we go. I got it. Son of Comics, Age of X-Men Apocalypse, and the extracts. Number 1, the 1 in 50 Nakayama variant. I bought this book from Mighty Mel V. Raw. Then I sent the book to CGC to be signed by David Nakayama, and the book finally made it back home safely. This book is a work of art, one of David Nakayama's best place. There is only 23 9.8s out of those 23 9.8s, and out of those 23, only 3 are signature series. Books like this makes collecting so exciting. So congratulations on that, Son of Comics, no doubt. Next up, we have, who do we have? We have Neighbor to the North right here. Look at this. It's Top Variant Tuesday, and I finally completed the set with edition of Spectacular Spider-Man number 90. All of the black suit key books in Canadian price variants. I feel like Thanos when he gets the last Infinity Stone. I feel like this is also appropriate for Comic Book Cannon's Fresh from the Comic Shop. Appropriate indeed, guys.
Yes.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
No doubt about that.
I'm jealous.
Of course you are. All right, T-Shoe. What do you got, T-Shoe? T-Shoe, here we go. What a better way to showcase a favorite villain than with some local fan art picked at a recent con. I mean, that artwork is outstanding. Look
Yeah,
at
it
that.
is.
9-8. Look at that.
Really good. Good stuff indeed. All right, guys. So I guess the three of us each have a book we can show off, right?
I got a book.
I got a
You got a book?
Yeah.
You got a book? I got a
do
book.
have-
You
I
have
have
a
to
book.
go
You got a
digging.
book.
I gotta go digging through my bag though. I gotta go digging through my
Is
bag.
it within reach?
You know what, Dan? We'll have fun with it.
Okay.
Here, give it to me. I'm closest to camera, and you're gonna talk about it.
Oh, for my book or your book?
No, your book.
Okay. Well, I got this here
Ooh.
at A1.
Wait, time
Comics.
out. Time out. Is this a fresh get? Literally,
Like,
how,
literally?
how fresh is this get?
There's still aroma coming off
Yep.
the bag.
Right, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. What is it?
It is Daredevil number 42. And there's some sort, I just noticed this, there's some
Mhm.
sort of
The win-
certificate on the back.
The Winters collection, a huge collection that A1 just recently picked up.
Guys, I've been collecting for 40 years. A1 is one of the most reliable sources you could possibly get your hands on, interact with. Prices are exceptional. Absolutely stop off at A1 or check out their website.
No doubt, and they're incredible hosts as well. This is such a great cover too. Good stuff there, Dan. Good stuff indeed. We're gonna move on though to our wonderful, wonderful audience here. Where are we? We got Cover Junkie Comics, guys. I really enjoy this one right here. As he says, fresh from the comic shop with Submariner 47 and 48. 2 more books to add to the collection of Doom Submariner covers. Journals, Comics, and Comic Book Canon. I stated my case 2 weeks ago when I posted Submariner 20, the first Doom Namor battle. I love these characters together, especially early on, and I'm hopeful they will see each other on the big screen. I mean, we just had the announcement of Fantastic Four coming out in a little over 2 years.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see a little Doom because I'm pretty sure that Namor, I haven't checked the updates, but I'm pretty sure Namor is going to be we're pretty sure Namor is going to be in the new Black Panther.
Yep.
So we shall see. But look at this cover, guys. I mean, I love his Doom figure right there as well. It's well done. It's what we talk about, composing a shot, right,
Yep.
Chris?
Absolutely.
Composition is everything, and that's a really great shot composition. All right, moving on. We got Marvel Man 616. Here we go, Marvel Man 616. Iron Man 21 featuring the first appearance of Switchback and amazing cover art by Alex Ross. Alex Ross has been producing these covers and just doing an excellent job with it. I mean, look at his Iron Man.
It's amazing.
It looks like the reflection is just off the page. That's how great the artwork is. This is a recent book, but it doesn't matter. It's fresh in his collection, and we appreciate it greatly.
Classic covers. I mean, classic
No.
armor, rather.
He's been moving back and forth with some crazy armors in
Yeah.
this series, like a celestial armor and stuff
Okay.
like that. Crazy armors indeed. All right, so I think Chris, we're gonna show off your fresh get.
All right, guys. I did not come empty-handed, and yes, it is fresh from A1 Comics.
I'm gonna do the big reveal.
Tales of Suspense 87.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, as somebody who has a complete run of Captain America Volume 1, obviously that continued Tales of Suspense at issue 100. I'm trying to get as many issues of these as I can. Will I ever own them all? I highly doubt it, but hey, every single one that I can grab, I'm going to grab it. A super deal. You know, I don't like to use the word steal, but guys, they had 20% off today. It was a steal from A1 Comics.
I mean, they said it's a 4.0. That looks a little bit better.
I
Yeah.
say this often enough. Chris wins. It's over.
You haven't seen mine, but yeah, he wins. Anyways, moving on. Who do we got next? We have Drunk Wookie. This is Drunk Wookie's newest one right here. Yeah, for this
Let's see
week.
what he's got.
Drunk Wookie, Crazy Alcohol, Clone Wars #1 Special Edition CGC Signature Series 9.2, signed by Ashley Eckstein, Matt Lanter, and Rosario Dawson. First appearance of Ahsoka and Captain Rex in comics. I mean, look at the blue light shining off there again. The composition, the creativity. This is what we're looking for, guys. Just as a reminder, let's just talk about it again. 3 criteria with Fresh from the Comic Shop. We want you to compose a creative shot. Have fun with it. Just don't put it on a table and take a picture. Do something with it. Have it tie into something, as you saw with the Venom. Why don't we just show this as an example, guys? As Brian P. Meister, who is the semifinalist from last week. That's creative. Looks like Venom is oozing off the pages right there. So that's a good example right there. Next up, it could be a unique book, and again, unique doesn't have to be an $80,000 book, right? It could be something that that's cool. We never heard of this before, or what have you. But this one goes a long way. Tug at our heartstrings. What does this book mean to you? Does it remind you of your family? Is it the first book you got when you were collecting? Brian P. Meister said that this is a book he had back in the day. So keep those 3 things in mind when you guys submit And maybe you'll be a finalist and winner of Fresh from the Comic Shop. To win, we didn't even talk about
We
AGS. Jesus,
We didn't.
Tony, we apologize.
I think it's time to
because
take a break and make this announcement.
absolutely.
I think
Because
Tony unsubscribed to us.
Oh no!
they have because right now, I mean, look at this slab right here. You can win. I mean, come on, man. The Darth Vader number 20. It should. Yeah, there we go. It's Darth Vader number 20, the Beskar variant 9.8. You got the Mando helmet in the top left, and I'm sorry, the top right, and then you got Grogu in the top left. Plus, this is the first cover appearance of Mando and Grogu, even though it's a second print. I think this is the print to have out of all of these. But I'm super excited. Chris, why don't you tell us more about Fresh from the Comic Shop and EGS?
EGS, guys. So again, anybody can enter Fresh from the Comic Shop by submitting your fresh gets on Instagram. But in order to have a chance to win these slabs every month, you have to make sure that you are subscribed to EGS on their YouTube. Make sure you're following them on Instagram. And that information is below on my YouTube channel in the description, and as well as the Comic Book Canon descriptions as well. So make sure you guys do that. And then from there, you submit your fresh get. But keep in mind for what EGS does and is, if you're not just looking to win a slab every month here, you guys can use their service, egscomicsgrading.com. Right now, we do have a promo code. You guys save 5% off of your orders. Code Canon5. You can check out some of their awesome books that they graded there. Custom labels. They work with you to really get those custom labels down. But they don't just offer custom labels. They do have universal certified labels as well. But again, optional custom labels, free grader notes, fast turnaround times, easy. egscomicsgrading.com. Check them out.
Absolutely. Got some more updates from Comic-Con.
Oh, here we go.
We have it's finally been, I mean, it's officially been announced, but we pretty much knew, but Namor will be in Black Panther. Actor Tinoch Huerta, this is what he says. This is nice. This is good. I come from the hood. Seriously, thanks to inclusion, I'm here. I wouldn't be here without inclusion. A lot of kids are there in their hood looking at us dreaming to be here, and they're gonna make it. That's sweet. That's honestly, and we talk about how inclusion matters. It really, really does matter. We got some cool video from the High Evolutionary here. Apparently the footage from Black Panther 2 looks amazing. So I'm not sure if this panel is over yet, but we're following the Twitter updates. If you guys have any comments in there, let us know. All right. Anyways, moving on.
This is live on the spot news, guys.
It really is.
You have to go anywhere else, just here to the Canon.
Or you can go to the people that are reporting to us. And anyway,
why do that? That's boring.
Well, yeah, why do that? Exactly. You don't get this personality here from the three of us. All right. Speaking of personality, we got Comic Noob with their fresh get. Here it is, Comic Noob. And more of a raw collector, but when a good deal on CGC comes along, I will not pass on it. Way below fair market value, guys. As you see, we got the first issue of Miss Marvel. We got Spider-Man. I don't know. Actually, that is off the top of my head. It's really small. Anyways, it's good stuff right there. Well shot too. I have to say. And yes, the Three Amigos. Thank you, Raising Elm. Thank you indeed. Moving on. We got Nukes Comics. Where are you, Nukes Comics? Right here. Nukes Comics. What do you got? Fresh from the Whatnot Comic Shop. Web of Spider-Man number 13 from Journo's Whatnot sale. Black-suited Spidey faces off against his biggest troll, J. Jonah Jameson. Cool story and a sharp artwork. I'll need to expand my Web of Spider-Man books. Classic.
Nukes, hit me up on Instagram. I got a ton. Hit me up because we can work something out.
Remind me after the show. I got to tell you something because I was bidding on one of your books last. George and I were in a bidding war on something going on.
What?
But we were on YouTube and you didn't see us. You were on Whatnot.
Yep.
So
what's your handle?
Well, no, it's just my name. I wasn't on Whatnot. It was on through the YouTube channel when you're Friday
Night Live. And
George and I were laughing about it because I won the bid. And George was like, "Oh wait,
which one was it?
Spider-Man $2.99, $20.99." Yeah. I want that book. So does he. So
yeah, we got to talk.
To be fair, let him be in on this bidding process. But one of us is wondering out for that.
By the way, Como, come on, who are those handsome MFers in a single shot? He's talking about us? He's talking. I don't think he's talking about us. I mean, Wes was just here. That dude's way more handsome than the three of us combined. Moving on, we got Raw Dog Comics, guys. I like this book. I haven't read it yet, but I like this creative team here. Daredevil #1, Chip Zdarsky and Chichetto are at it again in this new Daredevil series. Huge Daredevil fans over here at Raw Dog Comics. Fresh from the comic shop, this cover is on fire. Remember, collect what you love. Thank Comic Family. We love you. We love you, Raw Dog Comics. No doubt about that. All right, next up, guys, tugging at heartstrings here. SuperCrispy.comics. My submission for Fresh from the Comic Shop this week is this sick Fortnite Foundation cover with the bat who laughs. My boy doesn't collect comic books anymore, but at least every once in a while I can get him to come to the bookstore with me and snag up a Fortnite comic book. So he gets the codes and I get the comic book and we get to hang out. Happy Sunday, everybody. That's a sweet shot. I'm just gonna fresh. Where was I? Where did I pick it up? Where was that? Oh, I think it was San Francisco. I'm not sure, but
Frisco City.
Frisco City, as I call it, and people from Frisco do not like. All right, so this book right here, I was very happy to. No, this is San Jose. I got this in San Jose yesterday. This is the Savage She-Hulk #25. It's the very last issue. I got it for $3. This one is kind of hard to get. Not a newsstand. This is like 84, 85. But happy to get this as She-Hulk. I guess there's a new trailer art there we have not seen. But again,
That is a fun. I read the entire series. It was a fun, underappreciated run. It's worth it to get the whole thing. Obviously, #1 is very expensive, but the run was the writing and the storyline for her first series was very unappreciated.
and that's what John Byrne kind of built off of as well, with his kind of breaking the fourth,
I loved every.
Fourth wall,
I was sad when they stopped that series.
Yeah, no, that was a good series, and we love John Byrne. So again, but opening up with the first issue of like, buy this issue or else I'll come over and rip up your X-Men books,
right.
because X-Men were so popular back when that issue. Anyways, that's just a fun series. All right, moving on here. What do we have? We got 630 collectibles here. Matt Labno, I do believe, found a near complete run of the Shuri series at half-price books. Anyone else excited for Black Panther 2? We are, especially from what we've heard at the comic panel. Then of talking about bringing the heat. Raising Elm, we got right here. Raising Elm. Our third copy of Young Avengers #1 just arrived this week. I had bought 2 copies last year for spec purposes, obviously. But it dawned on me the other day, I wanted Elijah, his son, to have a copy of this for his PC as well. I can't wait to share these comic book stories and characters with him. More importantly, I can't wait for Elijah to hear the stories of those who came before him. His great-grandpa and great-great-uncle, great-great-great-uncle. That's how their memories will live on through our stories. As you can see, you have the flags for those who have served when they pass away. So again, that is appreciate your family's service. I'm all about it with my daughter too. She's starting to appreciate these characters too. She has peaks and valleys where she's into this and that, but she just got back into Star Wars, and she's 6 now. We're finally able to watch The Phantom Menace. We watched the Clone Wars. Yep. I'm a little bit worried about getting into the Revenge of the Sith, but she's like, what happened to Darth Vader? How did he get hurt? And I explained that he got hurt by lava. That's how I explained it. So she is so curious about this injury Darth Vader got from lava. But she's fascinated by the fact that she gets to see a younger Anakin before he becomes Darth Vader. Anyways, just riffing off what you got, it's very special to be able to bring your child into that. And they may be into it, they may not be into it, but either way, you're sharing what you love, and they'll appreciate it for just that fact right there. All right, we got Mark Leneker here. Mark, I switched it up for you for Silver Age Saturday. Here's Blue Beetle #2, Volume 2 from 1964 by Charlton Comics. They rebooted his version from a policeman who uses a vitamin to an archaeologist who finds a blue scarab that imbues him with superpowers. This scarab later bonded with Jamie Reyes and transformed into his battle suit. By the way, those pictures from the movie, the Blue Beetle film that they're in production for.
Oh yeah.
That suit looks awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. But that book right there is fantastic as well. Moving on, we got Comic Demon. Comic Demon went all in on Mando. Mando lured me in with those eyes, so I had to buy a bunch of sweet covers. Good thing it was a light week. Yo, those covers are There was a lot of really nice covers, right?
Yeah, I love the circles in the back on those couple.
Yeah, the cover A, the one in the middle right there with the white and orange.
I got that one.
That was gorgeous. I got that one, and I have the action figure one. So good stuff there, Comic Demon. And guys, Nori Jordan, he submitted. And you're gonna be surprised to see what he submitted.
We're buds, so yeah, he always brings something very interesting.
Okay. Fresh from the comic shop. I've been trying to switch things up.
I'm so
but
surprised.
sometimes exactly, you are surprised. But we had the Thunderbolts announcement too. I think. Switch things up, but sometimes it just is best to go with what you know. I picked up new books to continue my Thunderbolts run. I received some nice variants, including rare Volume 2 books, crossover books from a Deadpool series, and a 6-book lot I won on eBay for 25 cents.
Wow.
You got to let us know which books those are. Some of the books in the picks are ones I already had, but for the price, I can't complain. Finally, my personal favorite is Thunderbolts Volume 3, number 1, Mark Bagley variant that came all the way from England. It is an amazing shape and pays respect to the original Thunderbolts, number 1. Have a great week, everybody. The journey continues in your Thunderbolts journey. Like literally, he's looking to acquire all of the Thunderbolt physical copies ever produced. He's looking to acquire them all. He's going to have a warehouse. He's going to have 100,000 books, just Thunderbolts related.
We love Jordan Nori and his love for Thunderbolts, but we also love more MCU breaking news.
Oh, what's that?
Dan, I think you need to grab that shield.
Are you serious?
You need to grab that shield.
What do we got?
Does it feel weird picking it up? Because for Anthony Mackie, it ain't no more for when this film comes. We got an official announcement for Captain America 4. The title for the film,
Nice.
Captain America New World Order.
That's
New
out.
World
That's
Order.
awesome. That is awesome.
Yep. In theaters, May 3rd, 2024. We are less than 2 years away from that.
Okay, that deserves this.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. Ring the shield. Ring the shield. All right, and finally, we got Jacob merch, Jacob comic with this. I got one of my ground books this week. Gambit has always been my second favorite X-Men character. I've been looking for a nice copy for a long time. Always a bit more than I could afford. But thanks to this great community, I finally got it. I wasn't expecting the emotions that overtook me upon holding this beauty in my hands. Tears of joy, comic family. Thanks to Whodat Comics. And here's to an MCU that will take. I cut off the rest of that. I don't know what happened there.
It's like an ad lib. It's like finish it yourself.
And here's to an MCU that will take blueberries.
Dan.
I don't know. The first word that came to my mind was
Blueberries.
Okay, I'll set you guys up.
Okay, here we go.
And here's to an MCU that will take.
My improv processor is not working right
All right,
now. So,
Chris, you got it. It's on.
Okay.
Right.
And here's to an MCU that will take
About 80 more years to finish.
No,
There
it'll
you
never
go.
finish. Stop it. And that right there, guys, that completes Fresh from the Comic Shop. Dan, you are our guest. Again, you have responsibilities. You've done this a few times. Oh,
We're not kicking Dan off. We're not kicking Dan off yet.
Oh,
Ready?
snap. This
Dude,
is
guys,
good.
okay, we're
Why
gonna
are we not getting this up?
Yeah. I'm gonna show you guys my phone. First look at Namor in Black Panther. Look at check it out.
Yeah,
check it
yeah.
out.
Well, don't do that. You gotta.
I'm teasing him.
Yeah.
I'm teasing him.
Yeah.
Showing
Come
Dan
on.
first.
We got
Here
it.
we go, guys.
We got so much from.
Look at that.
That's cool.
And then underwater. And looks like in maybe in Atlantis there, or is he in
Or emerging from.
Wakanda? Oh yeah, he's emerging from the water. Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited.
That's cool.
I am so excited.
Oh, there is. Oh, and there's a teaser online for Wakanda Forever, which is outstanding. I'm just gonna. All right. So here's the deal, Dan. You're gonna have to start figuring this. By the way, I guess a sizzle just rolled out from Marvel. We missed this. Miss Minutes jumped out of this.
Okay.
We got a little Miss Minutes. My gosh, guys, we got so much good stuff here. So Dan, you got a responsibility that you need to fulfill. Otherwise, we're gonna kick you out.
I've got one.
There's security right there.
I've got three. Yeah. Well, I've got my shield to protect me. So,
Well,
anybody.
Good luck. Good luck
Yeah,
with that.
all right.
Good luck.
Okay,
with
there are several, but I'm going to go with this one here. We're all parents, and we know what it's like to have to be parents and raise your kids and get them interested in reading. That's why I love comics. They still don't get the appreciation and respect that they deserve. So I'm going
Agreed.
with this one here. Super Crispy Comics.
Supercrispy.comics.
Yeah.
Let's bring it up.
Met the criteria.
It did.
Special story.
Yep. Look at that. And that's a great picture, too. Look
It
at the
is.
depth of field right there.
Yeah.
So we got Brian P. Meister with the Venom going up against Super Crispy Comics with the Batman Who Laughs. That will be the semifinals for that, and then they'll go up against. Oh, I got to check out the.
And let's all say a prayer for Super Crispy Comics. What a handsome son he has. That's a freaking kid. No question about it. That's one good-looking boy.
Yes,
So, yeah.
absolutely, indeed, indeed. So okay, so we're gonna work this out because July's fresh from the comic shop, guys. Let's just show this beautiful EGS slab once more. We want to thank EGS again for sponsoring this segment and just doing a fantastic job in delivering what people want. What people want. Look at Super Crispy Comics. Cool. That's my boy. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, guys, here we are for the first time all together. Not the last.
Hopefully not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think this just goes to show what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's great for you guys to do what we have been doing every week for over 2 years, but being here in person, you know, and again, big shout out to A1. I mean, we could have been anywhere and made this special, but being here at A1 made it even more special. But man, this is great. And yeah, we got to, if we don't do it again before next year, we got to do it again next year.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll figure this out. But again, this is, hopefully, there's gonna be peaks and valleys with this whole COVID world, but hopefully we'll have more opportunities to be doing things like this and getting together in person and doing better with the technology. We apologize for that. We're very happy that you guys stuck.
And you did them to scrambling. Like,
Literally.
you can't believe to get this thing together.
Literally scrambling, and it was really nerve-wracking for a while, but you know what, we said, screw it, we'll do it live, just like one of those memes. Before we leave though, Chris, can you check to see if there's any breaking news here that we have?
I've got an announcement when you guys are done.
Yeah, let's see.
Dan has an announcement. Dan, why don't you just do the announcement while
I'm looking?
Well, I support this channel, love this channel. I fell in love with it early on, and I love sponsoring it. So everything didn't come together the way we wanted to, but I'll explain why later. This is your 1,500 giveaway, Defenders 10, and it will be autographed by a celebrity. We won't say who that is.
No, we won't say who it is.
That person escaped us today. Let's just put it that way. But I will get that autographed, and that will be your 1,500 giveaway for the comic book canon.
Hey guys, also, honestly, we can't appreciate this guy enough. Like, he's been a good friend of the channel for quite a while. He's family when it comes to the canon and journals and all that. And again, we're so happy to be able to bring you to the fold creatively, have you part of the shows. So again, you are like the fifth Beatle, even though we're only maybe like two. You get with the analogy. But we cannot thank you enough. We greatly appreciate it. We thank you guys, the audience, for always being here with us, hanging out with us on whatever days of the week we're going to be broadcasting.
I know, seriously.
We're happy to have this Comic-Con special here. Please, if you're watching on Journals, hop over to Comic Book Canon and sub over to us. Like these videos. It means the world to us because we want to keep producing cool things like this. We'll have better opportunities also in the future for doing in-person things, and maybe more of you all will come out to hang out. Right, Chris?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we look, these are opportunities. We know there's so many people out there in this community. I know there's some folks that are not too far from the area too. You guys could have been here, but we want to keep having these opportunities. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll be in San Diego. Maybe next time I'll have to head all the way out across the country.
Yeah.
To the East Coast.
East Coast.
And whoever is there, wherever we are, because you guys are everywhere, and we want you guys to show up. So, this is another step in the direction of what we want to do with the show and what we want the show to be and how we want to bring people together for the thing that we love, that is comic books and pop culture. So
Texas too, Raising Young Comics, Texas
Yep.
everywhere.
Absolutely.
Global. But again, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Continue watching this breaking news at Comic-Con. Marvel came out with Swinging.
Yeah.
I mean, DC, I'm psyched for Shazam and I'm psyched for Black Adam, but Marvel came out swinging today.
Yeah. You have any favorites announcement from Marvel today?
My only hope is that they maintain what got them off got them rolling anyway, and that's their love and connection to the Silver Age storyline. Like Iron Man 1 in 2008 was very Silver Age-esque. As long as they maintain that standard in that direction, they're going to have success. If they stray away from it, I hope you guys are listening, Mr. Feige. You know, I know you are.
Yeah, he's totally watching this right now.
Right. If you stray away from that, that's a mistake. That is a huge mistake and a gamble. Don't, because look at what DC is doing. They need to go to their Silver Age. They have a baseline. They're not doing it. But so far, so good. I think they're on the right track, and I'm looking forward to facing it.
Well, can we correlate that with those legacy characters? Because obviously they're doing a lot introducing some of the younger characters, you know, like the Young Avengers and things. You can't take those back to the Silver Age because they didn't exist then. But when you're doing your properties, your big properties that were from those time periods and had those rich stories and their actual story arcs built up in those eras, that's where this needs to lie, right?
That's a great point. That led into the Bronze Age and the Copper Age, which had that Silver Age feel to it, and that expanded brand new storyline. They were wildly full. Again, they have a path which was already set for you. If you stay with it, you're going to be successful, and you'll have us behind you.
Awesome.
Super excited. So much fun stuff. Again, thank you all for joining us. A1, thank you so much for hosting us. Dan, thank you so much for coming out and being with us. And
love you guys. You're my brothers.
Appreciate it. Look at this. We're all together. We're all together.
It's crazy.
Great. All right.
No boxes.
No boxes until next episode. All right. Y'all be good to yourselves. Be good to others. We'll see you next episode. Peace.